Howdy and welcome. It's Mike, and here is a bonus video. I am willing to try most things at least once with my drone, or one of my drones. In this case, the stability and reliability in adverse wind conditions on my Inspire. It's done fantastically well. Since I've had it up to 30 miles an hour. But it is monsoon season in Arizona, and by monsoon they mean blowing sand. That means a totally different thing in Jersey, where I'm from. But I took the thing up in 50-plus mile-an-hour winds and blowing sand and dust, and it took me forever to clean the thing out. So here it is, my video, 50-plus mile-an-hour winds, and I will never do that again. Tried it once, didn't like it, I'm done. Alright guys, enjoy the video, and we'll see you soon. Bye. Alrighty, we are up in the air, approximately, 20 meters or so, and things are going well. A little rotation. I wanted to try a few things that I would do normally in shooting a property or shooting something cinematic. So I just went up, did a quick pan and rotation, and then went back and did the second rotation. This is the second rotation, a little bit slower, a little more calculated, and you could see it was like a band of wind that came through just ridiculously. And look down at the trees, and they're kind of doing their thing. But I gotta say, I'm super impressed by this thing. It did a fantastic job up until the very end. So wait for it. Now, with the landing gear up and full forward sticks, I am full forward sticks, and the battery meter is dipping pretty quickly. It went from 100% in that beginning of the shot to like 80% by now. You can see the wind blowing across the sand blowing across the grass. And if you look to the left, you can see the trees. I should have got some more trees. But I wanted to try a little pan shot with the mountain. So I spun around to the right and then leveled off, pointing that direction, and tried laterally coming back to the landing area. It was struggling big time with moving laterally, moving sideways. So back to straightforward, heading towards the mountain there, same altitude, none of that's really changed. But at this point, I realize I'm about halfway. I'm probably about 70% on my batteries. And, I'm reaching that comfort area where, okay, enough's enough. So about 3 or 4 things I want to try before I come down, because I still have about 70% batteries. So I try the winds blowing back and to the left. Back and to the left. So I headed towards the far end of the field, found a focal point, and I do this thing where I let the wind carry the drone, and then I just operate the camera. So essentially, and you really have to keep line of sight 100% with this, letting the wind carry it in a specific direction, and you work the camera. You have about 5 seconds to do this, which is a lot of time in drone time. But at this point, I was finding a good thing to focus on. And then I went to attitude mode, and in attitude mode, it maintains the altitude, but lets it drift in the wind. But it gives you this nice straight shot. So I just let it go with the wind and see how fast it would go until it got maybe 50 feet behind me. And I panned to the right a little bit, smooth. I mean, I'm moving the camera too quickly for anything cinematic, but it's just so much easier. And when you do it slow, it comes out so much more dramatic and nice. So tried a little up and down, and now I'm at the halfway point, the point of no return. So I figured enough's enough. Let's bring this in. So coming back in, Done with my shots. I'm about 60% by now on battery. And I'm coming back, and the landing gear is completely up. And the camera is tilted as far... Oh, there's the Armageddon clouds. There's those weird Armageddon clouds. Yeah. So I'm full sticks forward into the wind, directly facing into the wind. Camera's canted up about 30 degrees, as high up as it'll go. And with line of sight, I can see that the drone is completely tilted forward. It is in the highest pitch I've ever seen it in, and it is struggling. So I bring it down a little bit, and then that's when the drama starts to begin. It was just this huge gust of wind. You can look at the trees down there on the bottom left, middle, right now, and it just this was a hairy moment for me. But your education as a pilot is built on experience, and this was an experience for me. Got it down close to the ground. I flew past the landing spot, and the wind started to blow me back towards the trees, and there was a cyclone effect, an out-of-control cyclone effect. I could fight it a little bit, but this spinning is not me. The wind spun that thing like a top. So I rocketed back up in the air to avoid the trees. Because like I said, I overflew the landing spot to give myself runoff, and no, it just didn't work. So instead of letting it blow out, I flew down here between a couple trees, so if it did fly away uncontrollably, it would hit a tree instead of anybody in particular. Found a nice spot next to my car and said enough's enough, put it down. And there's my old...